Okay. Can you see my screen? Is my screen visible, guys? Okay, okay, sir. So can you see my screen, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me point out it is nothing but Wren and Martin, where you are learning the agreement of the verb with the subject. So if I am talking about a subject, object, subject, verb and object, which is indicating as a basic sentence pattern, right? So what does it tell you? It tell you that uh, the agreement of the verb with the subject and associating with its object. So the first part is pointed that a verb must agree with its subject in number and the person. So generally, this is the first rule, which is indicating that means a verb must agree with its subject if the subject is in a number and also on the basis of the person, right? Often by what is called the error of proximity. Now, what do you mean by error of proximity? Now, that's called as a error of nearness. Generally, what we think that the subject which is nearer to the verb, on the basis of it, we take the verb as a singular and the verb as a plural. But that is not completely wrong. But at the same time, sometime also we bring mistakes into it. So it is stated that the verb is made to agree in number with a noun near it instead of with its a proper subject. We don't go for the proper subject of the sentence. We feel like what? Now any of the noun which is nearer to the verb will carry as a means uh, the kind of form in a verb, right? Whether it is a singular or it's a plural. Please do remember that subject carries noun or pronoun. But at the same time, in a noun or pronoun, we need to also understand that whether the noun is closer to the verb or farther to the verb. That doesn't matter. Matter is which one is the principal subject in the noun or nouns, right? This should be avoided as shown in the following example. Let's see that couple of examples have been pointed. The quality of the mangoes was not good. Now here what is given, but here the nearness is called as a mangoes, which is a plural. Why it is what? Now because the subject is not mango. The subject is what? The quality. This is the subject. And on the basis of that, so we consider this subject which is nearness to the verb cannot be considered as the number on the basis the verb will take in. So the quality is a singular. So that's it. The quality was not good. It's not about the mangoes, right? So that is what is called as an example of error of proximity. Similar to that, if you see the introduction of tea and coffee, right, and such other beverages. Now here you would find out the subject is such a long, right, such a compound or complex one, such a compound or complex one. But at the same time, the verb is what? Now the verb is called as a has. Why has? Now because it is neither following tea nor it follows coffee or it follows such other beverage. It follows whom? It actually follows to the introduction, right? So in that case, you can say the introduction has not been without some effect. It's not about tea, coffee, and such other beverages, right? This is why we can say the quality, the introduction, both are called as a means proper subject. What do you mean by proper subject? Now, for which the whole sentence is formed or the verb follows it. Now, the next one, if you see, it is stated his knowledge of Indian vernaculars. Again, another example where it is stated that his knowledge of Indian vernaculars. So though we find out vernaculars is a plural, yet the verb is given is singular. Why? Now knowledge is far beyond the common. Not means vernaculars is far beyond the common. Similar to that, the state of his affairs. Affairs is a plural, which is nearness to the verb. But at the same time, the verb follows whom? State. The state of his affairs was such to cause anxiety to his creditors. Next stage, if it were possible. Now, this something called as a very important to know. When the subject is indicating proper subject, here also proper subject is if it, right? If you observe that the word if is used as a conditional sentence and indicating as a means a hypothesis. So hypothesis or subjunctive, as it indicates the hypothesis or subjunctive, the verb will carry as a plural. If it were possible to get near when one of the volcanic eruptions takes place. Now here also you would find out another one that's called as it's not following volcanic eruptions, it following one. So many volcanic eruptions take place. Out of that, one takes place severely, right? So this is something called as a proper subject, and this is something called as a proper subject as well. Now look into the next one, the results of the recognition of this fact. Now fact is a singular, but whereas R is given. Why? Now because the results are seen in the gradual improvement of the diet of the poor. So therefore, it's very important to a candidate whenever he goes or she goes for the subject verb agreement, he or she has to observe the proper subject in a sentence. This is what called as a rule 1, right? This rule 1 must be understood. Second, the second rule stated that two or more singular nouns or pronouns. So whether you have a two singular nouns or two singular pronouns, or maybe more than that, if they joined by and, so it means you need a plural verb, right? Let's say that this one, gold and silver are precious metals, right? Gold and silver are precious metals. So R is indicating why? Now because the subject is indicating two singular noun, two singular nouns. Therefore, so fire and water do not agree. Knowledge and wisdom have oftentimes no connection. So you could clearly see the subjects are two different elements or two different constituents, right? Or two different nouns or pronouns that carry plural verb. Look into it. Are your father and mother at home? So father and mother is the subject of the sentence. Therefore, the verb is are. So next, in him where centered their love and their ambition. So their love and their ambition is the subject of the sentence. So therefore we consider where. So their love and their ambition in him were centered. He and I were playing. So two different pronouns. So that's why the verb is were. But if the nouns suggest one idea, now if you see that this is again called as a second rule, right? So the second rule clearly stated that if two of the nouns or pronouns means are joined by and, they require plural verb, right? So And the first one, we find out the proper subject to be identified when we go for the subject of the sentence. Not we follow with the error of proximity, but we follow with the means proper subject. Now, let's go to the next one. The next one is indicating if the nouns suggest, but if the nouns suggest one idea to the mind, if the noun suggests one idea to the mind, or the noun refers to the same person or same thing, right? The verb is singular. The verb is what? Singular. Why the verb is singular? Now, if the nouns, maybe one noun or two nouns, suggest to one idea, or maybe two of the nouns joined by and, referring to the one idea, then, or maybe two of the persons, or means the same person or thing referring to two position, then the verb is a singular. How? Let me point out. Here the examples have been given clearly. That's called as time and tide waits for none. Time and tide, both are called as two nouns joined with and, but taking the verb singular, waits. Why? Now, because it produces one idea. That's called as a no man. Time and tide does the same work. So that's why it waits for no man. Similar to that, the hearse and the carriage is at the door. So though we find out two of the means one object and one uh, means hearse, uh, or two of the objects joined by and, but producing one of the idea. What is their job? Their job is to take somebody. So similar to that, bread and butter joined with and is his only food. Now, in that case, bread and butter is used for the purpose of food. Honor and glory is his reward, right? So, used for the one idea to the mind, right? Or maybe referring to the same person. So, the rise and the fall of the tide is. So, why? Now, because it refers to the same thing. So rise and fall of the tide. So my friend and benefactor, it means one person who is the friend and who is also called as a benefactor has come. The novelist and the poet is dead. So two position, maybe he is a novelist and poet also. So, but referring to one person who is dead. You can't say that the novelist and the poet are dead, right? So in that case, the rule here stated, if the noun suggests one idea, maybe they are two, right? But referring to one idea or referring to the same person or same thing, then it carries the verb which is called as a singular in form. Am I clear so far?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So in the first example, time and tide waits for none. So waits for no man. So time and tide are two different things. Then how are they referring to the same item?
It is stated what? If the nouns suggest one idea to the mind. One idea to the mind means time does not wait for anyone. Tide also doesn't wait for anyone, does it?
No.
Then both are indicating one thing to the human being or two things to the human being.
So the time and tide are completely two different elements.
Similar to that, hearse and carriage are also two different elements. Bread and butter is also two different. Honor and glory also two different quality. Rise and fall also two different means sequence. But what their action? Their action is one, isn't it? They do one job. Like time and tide
Yes.
waits for none. Horse and carriage does the job of what? Taking somebody. Bread and butter is used for food. Honor and glory is his reward. And because one person is getting honor and glory, so bread and butter both are used for the purpose of eating. The horse and carriage both are joined, and they have it is used for the taking somebody. So whatever time does, tide also does the same. So that's why uh, whoever he is, so for them these two are means working as the same job, right? So that's why it presents or it suggests one idea to the mind, or does the same thing to the same person or thing, right? Clear?
So, but in the last, sir, in the last two examples, so my friend and benefactor, the novelist and poet. So they are two like different persons.
No,
So then why
no,
should
no,
we
no, no,
use
no, no,
singular?
no, 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 no. They are not two different persons.
So
Here
here,
it
my friend is referring to that benefactor only.
so whoever my friend, he is also benefactor. If it is written my friend and my benefactor, it will be two different. But here it is stated that whoever my friend, it means Priyani my friend, and Priyani is the benefactor, right? So it means one person, two designation, right? So like you can say you are Priyani as the daughter, you are the means Priyani the daughter, and student, you are the daughter and student. So it means two position is given or not? You have been given two position or not?
Yes.
But you are one or two? You are one or
It's the
two?
one.
One. So, but position is given two. Similar to that means here it is also given friend. Whoever is the friend, he is or she is the benefactor. So that's why both are referring to one person, right? Both are referring to one person. So who has come? So here also, whoever write the novel, he is also write poems. That is why he is called as a novelist. He is also called as a poet, isn't it?
Yes.
So if it is written though the novelist and the poet, then you can talk about two different persons. It is written the novelist and only poet. If it is written the poet, so it means it would be referred as a what? Two different person. The novelist and the poet are dead, but it is written not that. The novelist and the poet. So similar to that previous sentence, my friend and my benefactor. It means two different person. If it is written the rise and the fall, then it would be different, right? So that is why you have to observe nouns and articles very carefully. Clear, Priyani?
Yes.
Okay. Now, coming to the next one is called as a what's joined to a singular subject. The next rule is what? Now it is stated what's joined to a singular subject by with or as well as. These are called as a preposition or conjunction, right? So they are parenthetical, right? So what is that parenthetical? Now here the verb should therefore be put in the singular. Why the verb should therefore be put in the singular? Now if the words joined to a singular subject, then it will be considered as a singular. Let's say how. If you say the house, which is the subject and singular, its contains. So you will find out another subject, which is a plural, but both have been joined, the word called as a with, right? Both have been joined, the word with. So that's why the verb will follow whom? The verb will follow always to the first part of it, not to the second part, but to the first part, right? So the house with its contents, contents is a plural, but the verb will follow to the first part. So therefore, the first part is a singular, so the verb is also singular. The house with its contents was insured. Look into the next example. Similarly, the mayor with his councillors. So councillors are plural, but it is joined with what? Now it is joined with the word called as a with. So therefore, the verb will follow whom? The mayor. So which is a singular. So that's why the verb is also singular. Am I clear so far?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Wherever you can't understand, please do ask me, right? But do not sit idle. Now, next. So this one is indicating, look into it, more examples are given here. The ship with its crew. So it means two subjects are there and both have been joined with what? With. So the verb will follow to the first one, silver as well as cotton. So here definitely has, why? Now because it will follow to the first one, silver. Sanskrit as well as Arabic. So watch, which will follow to the first one, justice as well as mercy. So the verb will follow to the first one, the guidance as well as the love of a mother. So was is following to the guidance. So in that case, what do you find out? You will find out that the verb always follows, means to the first part of the subject if the subject joined with another subject using with as well as, or called as a with, or another word which is known as a along with, along, along with, the word called as a along with, along with. So the king along with his courtiers, right, was visited. So in that case, we will use a singular verb. So the idea also pointed another rule, two or more singular subjects. When two or more singular subjects connected by or not, they also require singular verb. So it is clearly stated singular subject. When two or more singular subjects connected by or not, they require a singular verb. How? Let's take some example here. Uh, uh, how come I went to such so far? Look into it. So here the idea is indicating that no nook or no nook or corner. It is clearly stated no nook or corner was left. So here two singular subjects are there when joined with or, right? The word called as or, the word called as or, the word called as or, right? So or you can say nor also, right? The word nor or, that may be either or, that may be neither nor. If these are the subjects which are called as a singular joined with or, either or called as a neither nor. So the verb definitely follows whom? The verb definitely follows the singular subject, right? So no nook or corner was left. Our happiness or our sorrow is largely. So either the cat or the dog has been here. Neither food nor water was to be found. Neither praise nor blame seems to affect him. So in that case, it is indicating that if the not only that the word called as along with, or as well as, but also the word called as or, either or, neither nor. So all these clearly highlighting that they will carry singular verb if the subject is the singular, right, in both of the cases. Now, next is indicating, but when one of the subjects joined by or nor is plural. So if imagine that one of the subjects joined by or, either or, neither nor is plural, then the verb must be plural. Then the verb must be plural. And the plural subject should be placed nearest to the verb. Now the position also you need to remember. What is that? Now if I am saying that he and they, right? Or you talk about he or they have made the mistake, are coming to the party. If it is indicating that he or she is coming, or either he or she is coming, so but if it is stated he or they are coming, so it is a clear case of what? Plurality. And that's why the rule said that one of the subjects joined by or not is plural, then the verb must be plural, and plural subject should be placed nearest to the verb. Let's take an example. The chairman, neither the chairman nor the directors. So directors is a plural here. So that's why the verb is are. Now, coming to the next one, when the subjects joined by or not, they are of different persons, the verb agrees with the nearer. So here you can put the error of proximity. What is that? Now, when the subjects joined by or not are of different persons, the verb agrees with the nearer. Let's say that if I am saying either he or I, it's not is mistaken. As I is given, so I'm mistaken. Either you or he is mistaken. Neither you nor he is to blame. Neither my friend nor I am to blame. So if you find out that if it is also written either he or you are mistaken, but it is better to avoid these constructions and to write what? He is mistaken or else I am. If you get into the confusion, so better to be right like this. Either he or I am mistaken. Instead of writing this, you can say he is mistaken or else I am. If you are getting confused, you can also say that you are mistaken or else he is. You can also say that he is not to blame, nor are you. Next, my blame is not to, my friend is not to blame, nor I am. So this is something called as a subject verb agreement, another rule to be followed. Any doubts so far? Guy,
No, sir.
Priyani,
Yes, sir.
understood?
Yes.
Okay. Now look into it. You would find out that either, neither, each, everyone, many are. These are a couple of words. Either is followed with the both, neither is negative both, each is a singular, everyone is a singular, many a is also followed with the singular verb, right? So either, neither, each, everyone, many are. So they all carry with the singular verb. Let's say that how? Now he asked me whether either of the applicants was suitable. Why was suitable? Now, because either is indicating out of the two applicants. It is not stating either applicants. It is stating either of the applicants, means out of the two applicants. So one was suitable, right? So neither of the two main. So in that case also not. So neither of the two main was very strong, means out of the two, one was not suitable, very strong. Each of these substances, even whenever you are using the word called as a each, so it shall use as a singular if it is a subject of the sentence. Each of these substances is found in India. Every one of the prisons is full. Every one of the prisons is full. Every one of the boys loves to write. Many a man has done so. Many a man does not know his own good deeds. Many a man has. So if your subject of the sentence is called as a many a man, right, then the verb will also carry some singular in form. Okay. Coming to the next one. So the next one is clearly stated, two nouns qualified by each or every. Even though connected by and, they require a singular verb. Please do understand what the rules say. Now, I have just now told you 5 rules so far. So the rule said, when two nouns qualified by each or every, it means you are talking about every boy and every girl, or each boy and each girl. So in that case, what happened? The verb will follow to the singular form. How? Just see the examples which have been pointed. It is stated every boy and every girl. So both are called as the two different uh, genders joined with and. So the verb will be what? Was given a packet of sweets. It means it does not talk about uh, plural, right? It tells about the singular. It says every boy and every girl was given, right? If it is written, right, all the boys, then it will be plural. But as it is stated every boy and every girl, then it is supposed to be used as a singular in form. Okay. Next one, some nouns which are plural in form but singular in meaning, take a singular verb. We know that in a noun case, we find out nouns are using with the plural form. How do you know that it is plural form? Now, when S or ES is used after that noun, let's say that means you say boy become boys, which is a plural. So that is what means we always consider that it's a plural form. Even you can say that TV become televisions, right? Here also you would find out the verb is indicating the subject of the sentence is indicating as a plural or seeming plural. Why? News, S is given. But at the same time, it is carrying with the singular verb. Why so? Now, because it is a noun which is indicating as a singular in form, but seeming plural. Even you talk about politics, was, wages of, seen is death. So in that case, you would find out whether you are talking about news, politics, wages. So these are called as a nouns. They carry the plural name, but work in the sentence as a singular form. More is there. Look into it. Mathematics. It's a name of a subject. So that's why the verb also indicating about what? Now, singular in form. Mathematics is a branch of study. So this is called as one of the rule which you need to know. Now, the next rule stated that pains and means, you would find out pains, pain or pains. Generally, pain is a means uncountable noun. But when it is indicating about pains, so it means it is indicating about uh, any kind of a pain, right? It is telling about maybe physical pain, maybe body pain, maybe mental pain, maybe labor pain. So many pain it is telling about. Similar to that, if I am talking about means, so means have a different meaning, right? In the sense of income, the word means, in the sense of income, if you are earning, right? So in the sense of income, it is telling about means always takes a plural verb, right? Let's say that my means, my income were much reduced due to that heavy loss, right? So income, if it is presented or on the basis of the context you identify, then the word means will be used as a plural. Like all possible income have been tried. The means employed by you is sufficient. The means employed. So you can also say that means the idea of two of the words like pains and means take either the singular or the plural verb. How and in which of the cases? Now, the cases, the construction must be consistent. Let's look into it. Great pains have taken or have been taken. So here pains is used as a means of what? Uh, all kind of a pain, right? You're telling about all the variety of pains that a body feel. Similar to that, much pains has been taken. Now here it shall indicating as a much pains has been taken. It indicates about the pain you are talking about abstract noun. All possible means have been tried. The means employed by you is sufficient. So in that case, pains and means depend upon the kind of a sentence where you are using it, whether it is singular or plural. You can determine on the basis of its usage in the sentence, right? Okay. If you have any doubts so far, you can ask me. Else I'll move forward.
Can you just explain that part again, sir? Why pains, like much pains has been taken. So why will it take a singular verb?
Now tell me that, what do you mean by pains? P-A-I-N-S in the first place. What is the meaning of that?
It's like all the pains together.
Now, if that is the case, can you say that if I am saying here the second part, much pains, the word much is countable or uncountable?
It's uncountable.
If much is uncountable, then don't you think a heart should be placed here?
So, but should we consider pain as a plural noun? So, like in daily life, we never say pains. We always say pain.
Yeah, you're talking about what? Means the idea of a pain or pains having a two different meaning. Like water and waters. Do you say water or waters? Do you say water, right? Water,
Yes.
water in the case of what? Liquid or country or ocean? Water in the case of liquid or water in the case of liquid or water in the case of ocean or oceans? If I talk about two of the sentences, If I say that I need a glass of water, so here I am talking about liquid, right?
Yes, sir.
If I am telling about that the person has lost himself in the international waters, what do you mean by that?
I said the ocean.
Now, here we are using waters or water. We use waters, right?
It's a what? Yes.
So similar to that, the word pain or pains do have a two different meaning. Like if I am telling about much pains, right? So what do I find out? Now here it is indicating about a kind of a abstract in case, right? So which is not indicating about much pain. Much pain may be indicating a kind of a not stating about the different types of pain, but indicating about the abstract in form. Abstract in form. Abstract means something which cannot be visible, right? So
Yes.
so in that case, we talk about pain as a uncountable. So whereas if I am talking about great pains, नहीं जो तो वीडियो बिट करिए बेटा बिट कर okay. So in that case we talk about what means great pains are referring to the variety of pains in a general sense, and much pain is called as a pain in the case of what somebody who cannot deliver means or cannot measure, so indicating about the kind of means kind of a feelings, right? Here pain is indicating about the feelings, and feelings, that's why it is indicating as a uncountable noun. But that pain is counting on the basis of what are the different areas where you are facing the kind of a pain, right? A degree of pain you deliver from the different part of the body, whereas much pain is simply highlighting about means uh, the feeling or the emotion that draw from a person. So therefore it is indicating much pain, and the earlier one is great pains. It connected to the variety of pains relating to the human being. That is the differentiation it is pointed. Though we say that pain, right? So but we are not talking about what in the form like great pains have been taken or much pains. We are simply stating that what a pain he is gaining, right? Or what pain he is gaining, or called as a, I feel pain in my means of body, so I feel pain. So here pain is indicating as um, a feeling or called as emotion. That is why. So you
Yes.
cannot determine uh, pain as an individual element, but as it is used in the sentence, you have to determine means whether it is a uh, what do we say that plural or singular, and on the basis of that you will use the verb as a singular or plural. Okay, so let's come to the next one. The next one is called as a, in the sense of, look into it here also indicating means as a what, income, and look into it, my means were much reduced owing to that heavy loss, right? So the means employed by you is sufficient. So in that case it is indicating about savings employed by you is sufficient. So the first part is income, the second part is called as the savings. So on the basis of that it is used. Look into this rule which is pointed. Some nouns which are singular in form, some nouns which are singular in form but plural in meaning, singular but plural in meaning, take a place plural verb. According to the present market rate, 12 dozen cost 100 rupees. Clearly, it is indicating about what? means 12, which is indicating as a plural in sense. Sorry, singular in sense, but using as a plural verb. 12 dozen cost 100 rupees. So, but at the same time, there are also certain means other words, a numerical figure. On the basis of that, we also tell means it's a singular or plural. I'll tell you later in the part. Uh, so this one is clearly indicating it seems plural, it seems singular, but uses the verb as a plural form. 12 doesn't cost 100 rupees. Look into the next one, none. None, though properly singular. None is a what? No one. So it's a properly singular. Commonly takes a plural verb. Properly singular, seeming what? No one. But at the same time, commonly takes a plural verb. How? Now see that if it is used in the at the beginning of it, none are so deaf as those who wilt not hear. None are so deaf. So are is used for the purpose of what? Now the subject none. But whereas the subject none is indicating no one. But at the beginning, it is used as a none. So therefore, will be used as are. Cows are amongst the gentlest of breathing creatures. None show more passionate tenderness to their young. So if these words like none, right? So use at the beginning can be indicating as a commonly used as a plural verb. Similar to that, other rule stated a collective noun takes a singular verb, which we know that very well. But at the same time, when the collection is thought of as one, when the collection is thought of as one whole, then only means you can say a singular verb is taken. But plural verb will be taken when the individuals of which it is composed are thought of. It means, let's say that if I find out the sentence called as the committee, which is a collective noun. So in that case, the verb is called as a has. The committee has issued its report. So the committee, which is a collective noun, remained thought of one as a whole. But if I go for the second, the committee, so collective noun, singular, but why are divided? Now, because it presents the idea of what means idea of individuals present in that committee. So therefore, means you will find out the individuals are divided or the committee are divided on what? On one of the minor issue or minor point. So therefore, it is indicating as a means subject verb agreement in which division itself is indicating negative idea and indicating about the subject is two, not one. Clear my point? Am I clear so far?
Yes.
But we must be consistent. Therefore, we should say the committee has appended a note to its report. Clearly, it points out the one of the idea of the singularity. What is that? The committee has appended a note to its report, not their report. So if it is written that the committee are divided on their issue, not its issue. So because are divided is written, so in that case, it cannot be used as a it, right? So that is what you will find out in a collective noun. Okay. So there are also other means another one is also present, not only on this, you will also find out in collective noun, there are certain nouns, like you can say cattle, poultry, clergy, vermin, or vermilion, or you talk about uh, police, people, public. So they always use plural verb, right? So if they are the subject of the sentence. Okay. So more are also there, more rules are there, like when these two, which will be taught to you, and after that we will finish this. So the next one is stated when the plural noun is a proper name. When the plural noun, look into it, when the plural noun, let's say that somebody's name is called as John Keats, Arabian Nights, United States, Plutarch Lives, Gulliver's Travels. So these are indicating as a plural noun, but at the same time they are proper noun. So single, for some single object or some collective unit, it must be followed by a singular verb. If you talk about the Arabian Nights, cannot be called as are still a great favorite. It's still a great favorite. The United States are is wrong. It should be is or has. Plutarch's Lives, age. Gulliver's Travels, was. So though the subject is seeming plural, but they are proper noun. So they cannot carry plurality on the basis of seeming plurality, right? So this is called as another rule. Next stage, when a plural noun denotes some specific quantity or amount, which I would like to tell you that what? Now, when a plural noun denotes some specific quantity or amount considered as a whole, the verb is generally singular. How? Now, some time ago, you learned the word called as a 5 dozen mangoes, right? Or 5 dozens. So in the first place, you could find out here it is written that called as a 12 dozen cost 100 rupees, isn't it? Now here you will find, and here 12 dozen cost, why 12 dozen cost as a plural? Now because means you will find out noun seeming plural, seeming uh, yeah, noun seeming singular, but at the same time uses as a plural form. So 12 is singular, but they are plural. So that's why it doesn't cost. Here it is something different. Here a plural noun denotes specific quantity or specific amount and considered as a whole. The verb is generally singular. Like look into it, 15 minutes is allowed to each speaker. 10 kilometers is a long walk. 50,000 rupees is a large sum. 3 parts of the business is left for me to do. So if you get into the confusion of 122 with 118, then it will be better. You shall go with the means of plurality, right? Why? Now, because if you go with the plurality, so it will help us to determine one of the idea that is called as a means seeming singular but working plural. But if you use with the means singular verb, then it will be make us quantity or amount, right? So that's why particular quantity or particular amount. So that's why the verb will be singular. So in both of the cases, means you will find out it is justifiable, right? But at the same time, if you get into the confusion, please go with the plurality, right? That is what appropriate. Am I clear so far? Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm giving you some of the home tasks to do at home, right? On the basis of subject verb agreement, do them and send me the answers. I'll tell you, means, or we can find out like if you have improved or if you have understood or not. Yes. Yes,
Sir, I
Priyan.
have one doubt.
Yeah. Ask.
I feel like you said when there is either, neither, each, many, like when they are used, then it should be followed by a singular verb.
Yes.
So in the example, many a man doesn't know his own good deeds. So here, many a man is here. So like it should be plural, right?
What is the idea? What is the rule I pointed? Look into it. It is stated many a
It's like
man does not know his own
yes,
good deeds. So it is stated about what? Many a man, isn't it?
yes, sir. So but many is used means it's plural.
But it is started with a man. A man, see, you are telling about many people are there, isn't it? Many. The first place
Yes.
is many. So which is taken as a group. And out of that, you are telling one man, right? Look into it. Like here, you find out what?
Yes.
Each of these substances. It means there are many substances. Out of them, each is found in India. Right or not?
Yes.
So you are talking about the regions. It means many regions. Out of that, everyone is full. You are talking about the boys, many boys. Out of them, everyone loves. So here also, there are many, right? Out of them, a man, right? Many people are there, and out of
Yes.
that, one man has done so. So this clearly make us what actually? Now they are one means phrase, right? Which tells us that means it is a group, and out of the group you are taking means each. You are taking every. You are taking one, a. Am I clear? Understood?
Yes.
Okay. So fine, that's all for the day. We'll meet in the next class. Till then, bye-bye.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. Sorry?
Excuse me.
Yeah, tell.
Yes, sir.
Hello? Hello?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Wait a minute.